Sorry about that. Ran out of space, so I had to delete a few of the earlier videos. So we know in part and prophesy in part. But when that which is full is come, or whole, right, that which is in part shall be done away, right? We're two parts, right? The female and male may have shared the first body, right? She was removed from him by bone and flesh, right? You think the bone was the rib, right? So, did he have the flesh of a woman and a man? Right. Both, one, right, were made two, right? Both shared the first body, right? And that can explain why there's androgynous people in the earth today, right? If the angels too sinned, the sons of God, who Peter and Jude identified as angels, right, from heaven, right, that means people are ignoring this doctrine, tempting God, right? Now, why did David say, I am a worm and no man? Who would say that to him? Maybe Bathsheba if he tried to rape her? Right. See, the difference is when David sent for Bathsheba, she knew she was a married woman, right? Now, if she's a faithful woman, right, the king can rape her, right? He can take her by force, right? It's David, by the way. Mm-hmm. And usually David got what he wanted. Now, to a woman, if you rape her, you're a worm in the man. Right? But back then, you couldn't do abortions, right? You couldn't do things of that nature, right? So this child, among the three others he had with her, died, right? I think they had 4 sons total, right? It's in either First Kings or First Chronicles, right? Where the story's told, right? Right. Well, it starts in Samuel and Second Samuel, and then goes into First and Second Kings. But I think Chronicles covers it all too, right? And the Second Chronicles as well. Mm-hmm. It covers David's lineage, right? For a few hundred years anyway, until Babylon, right? And then from Babylon to Rome, right? With Daniel being in between Babylon and Rome, right? And talking about the upcoming countries, right? Which he talked about it so well, they thought the Jews made it up, right. I mean, it seemed to kind of match, right? They're not sure how he knew all that, right? So some people think he even made it up, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But in the flesh, we all have tribulation, right? After the fall, we don't know what we're doing anymore. Male and female ain't the formula for marriage alone, right? Or you're married and being given in marriage, right? That's what I mean, right? Don't you understand? We don't know who we're supposed to marry, but we act like we do, and that's wrong too, right? Okay. So listen to others too, right? Because you don't know everything, right? It's called advice, right? There's advice, there's laws we all gotta follow, and then there's suggestions, right? Suggestions and advice are kind of under the same heading, right? I'm making either a suggestion to you or giving you advice, right? From what I learned, right? Take it or not, right? All right. So now I'm going to try and exercise again, right? But like I said, right, the video stopped, right?
He was proud of you. What if he did tell you, I love you? They almost tear up right then and there. They can't imagine such a thing. It would mean the world to them. Can I say to you, those of you who are parents, if you haven't told your kids you love them, will you tell them? If you haven't told your daughter that she's beautiful, will you tell her? If you think so, I hope you do. If you haven't told your daughter or your son you're proud of them, that you're on their side, that maybe you're a little critical, but you're proud of them, would you tell them? Don't make it true that, oh, he would never do that. Would you tell them before you die? Would you give them that gift? Some of you are in your mind and you're like, I'm just not going to do that. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. I'm not going to do it. If you can't say it, could you at least write it down in a card and give it to them? If you do, I promise, they will hang on to that card the rest of their lives. Why wouldn't you give away such a tremendous gift when it costs you nothing? What a gift it would be. And what a gift it is to your neighbor when you encourage them. What a gift it is to your friends to tell them, I'm so glad to see you. I missed you. To tell your wife or your husband, I'm so glad
Love you.
I get to do life with you. To tell your grandkids, I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy to have you in my life. Even when you say those things again, you feel your own life lift up. And that's not why we do it, but there's just so many benefits. There's so few things in this world that have such a great
I love you. You're the one for me. You ever heard that one? There's a song that says I love you.
And don't forget to bless the Lord. Isn't it interesting that we bless the Lord? I was talking to a friend of mine, and I said something in prayer or something, Lord, we bless you, or we bless you. And he goes, well, you don't bless the Lord blesses you. And I said, no, it's a two-way street. The Lord blesses you and you bless the Lord. He goes, no, only the Lord can bless. You don't bless the Lord. That's not right. That's not. And then I finally look at it and I go, bless the Lord, oh my soul, and all that is within me. You know, there's like 100 scriptures that say bless the Lord. And there are other scriptures as well that say,
oops, almost not reading.
Thank the Lord. But there's also these ones that say, bless the Lord. What does that mean to bless the Lord? What does that even mean? What does it mean to bless the Lord? Well, let me ask you, if those of you who are parents, or maybe those of you who are teachers,
you may have heard of praise the Lord, or
have your kids or grandkids,
there aren't many songs that say bless the Lord anymore, are there? Right?
That blessed you in that way?
I can't think of any. Right?
Children
Good
blessing
point.
adults.
Good point.
The word bless also has to do with happiness. That it makes you asher in Hebrew. It's barak, but asher, you're happy. You feel lifted up. Isn't that interesting? When you praise God, you bring joy to His heart. What a great thing. So I encourage you to do that. Now, the biggest lie that the enemy will want to tell you is that your words don't have incredible power to move your mountains into the ocean. I mean, really, to change lives with just words, you can change lives. That's why it's amazing. And so today, my friend, lift someone up today. Would you lift someone up today? Today, bless the Lord before you go to bed and bless someone you love. Would you do that? Would you just try?
That's why I forgive them. They too think they know what they're doing, but they don't, right? Even with our hair issue, right?
It'll come around. It'll make all the difference in the world. Lord, we bless your name, and we thank you for life. Thank you that we get to be here in your presence. We are so grateful. Forgive us of the times when we've been so offendable and arrogant, and we just ask God you forgive us in Jesus' name and help us to be more like Christ. It's the best way to live life. And I pray for my friends here. I'm just thankful for them. I pray that you bless their families and bless all their work. I pray that you open doors this week for them as they're facing trials and challenges. in their family life.
I've heard
problems.
rejoice in the Lord.
Lord, let this be a week of victory. I just proclaim that over you. This will be a week of victory in your
I
life.
will bless the
Make sure you give God the
Lord,
praise when it happens. It's His work.
for He gives me all I need. I will bless the Lord. His strength is all I need.
The preceding program was made possible in part by the ministry partners of the Hour of Power and viewers like you, and is accredited by the Evangelical Council for Financial Accountability.
This is my first time trying on glasses at home. So cute! 5 different frames.
But not to judge people even mean while they're sinning, right? They gonna do what they gonna do. If a gay person goes to a gay club, your job ain't to stop them. Your job is to pray for them and hope whatever they're going through, right? The Lord knows where they're at, right? If they have sex, right? It ain't your business, right? Between them and their partner, right? Even if they have multiple partners, right? You're not to get involved with it personally, right? If you're, no, the Bible is against it, right? But you're also not to condemn them, but to forgive them as Christ said to do, right? Forgiving them, right, doesn't mean they have to say they're sorry to you. You're not God. Right? That's what I keep saying too. You ain't gotta apologize to me even if you attack me or whatever happened at the record of fall or whatever, right? I'm not asking for that. But if you hurt me, you at least gotta admit it, right? So I know what happened and can deal with it, right? Again. So. That's kind of the whole point here, right? See, I don't really get out because I had bad experiences with churches, right? But that's my experience. But it don't mean I can't read my Bible at home and give you a shakedown if you're from the church and you're not teaching the whole Bible. You're just teaching what you want to teach from it, right? And I can show that to you and prove it to you, right? You can still deny it, of course, right? And that's fine, right? If you do.
Come along with me as we journey together and discover that love speaks.
But you do it for your own reasons, as we all do, right?
Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Frankie Mazapika. The title of the message is Gifts, Grace, and Rest. I want to springboard into the message by referring to a story that Jesus told in Luke chapter 15, and I'm going to begin in verse 11. This is what it reads. To illustrate the point further, Jesus told them a story. There was a man with 2 sons. The younger son told his father, I want my share of the inheritance before you die. The father agreed to divide his wealth between his 2 sons. The younger son, just a few days later, packed up all of his belongings and moved to a distant land where he wasted all of his wealth on wild living. I will go back to my father and say, Father, I do not deserve any longer to be called your son. Please take me on as a hired servant. The father said, quickly, bring the finest robe in the house. Put it on him and put a ring on his finger and put sandals on his feet. And then kill the calf that we have been fattening, because we must celebrate with a feast. The reason why Jesus told this story is because he wanted you and I to know how he responds to a person
Now,
who is returning.
what if that also represents
How does he
Jesus and
respond
Satan
to
too?
a person who's been
I keep
away from
explaining
God maybe
to you.
even their entire life?
Everything was very good.
How does he respond? He makes it abundantly
At one
clear
point,
that
even
there is
in
no
day 6, right?
punishment involved.
Everything God made was at first very good, right? Until one of them,
Have you lost your mind?
the Beni
I've been
Elohim,
good to you, and now you have
knew
been
good
more
and evil
just
with Adam and Eve,
of
right?
that. Probably my favorite word in the passage that we
And
read
after that,
is the word
we fell with him, right?
when the son said, "Please take me on as your hired servant," the next words were, "Quickly bring out the finest robe." In other words, as the son came to the father with a broken heart, the Lord responded quickly. There was no hesitation there. He's not looking at you, looking at me and saying, "I'll forgive everybody but what you did." No, it's quickly. On the count of 3, everybody say it out loud. Just encourage me. 1, 2, 3, quickly. 1, 2, 3. There you go. I know it's not the cool thing to do, but you really encourage me. 1, 2, 3, quickly. If you talk back to me, I'll preach short. If you go sleepy on me, then I'll feel like I gotta say everything 14 times over again. So just say something, even if you say, "This is for him." Anyway. In Psalms chapter 51, verse 17, it says this, that the sacrifice the Lord desires. Now, keep in mind that this chapter, Psalms 51, was the chapter that David wrote after he committed adultery, got that woman pregnant, and then killed her husband. The Bible says that the sacrifice that the Lord desires, here comes David before the Lord, just like the prodigal son coming before his father. He's coming before God. I don't know what you've done in your life. It's not likely that you have committed adultery, got a person pregnant, and killed the husband. It's just not likely. But if it did happen, then this story's really for you. In Psalms 51:17, David writes, he has this revelation from God after all the things that he's done. He says, the sacrifice that the Lord desires is a broken spirit.
Now, if the king, the Assyrian, is the cedar in Lebanon, which is a tree, and there's a tree in Eden that all the other trees envied, is this talking about the tree of the knowledge of good and evil? Idiot.
So let me go over the three
Uh-huh.
things that happened, the 3 gifts that
Why
the Lord
is
gives
it
you
talking
and
about
gives me
the tree of the
every
knowledge of good and
single
evil?
time we step towards
It's
Him.
the only tree in Genesis 6 the other trees could envy to also know the daughters of Ben. Right.
That the Father
Right.
gave the Son in Luke chapter 15. The first
Uh-huh.
gift that he gave him is he says this, go to the house and bring the finest robe and put it on him. Now, when he came back to the Father, he had just spent days, weeks, months, I don't know how long he was gone, years. He had spent that much wildly. The Father wasn't on his mind. He just wanted to jump as deep as he could into a pool of sin and stay there. He lost all of his money. And a part of the story says that he was so hungry that he jumped into a pigsty and ate their food. So when the son came back, he was filthy. He stunk. And the Lord looks back because the Father represents Jesus. He says this, quickly, go get a robe of righteousness and put it on this young man. This is my son, and make it happen right now. Now, let me illustrate this point. If you're a parent in this room, just wave at me if you're a parent in this room. Let me see if I can illustrate this point. My daughter is 18 years old, sitting on the front row. My son's 15 years old, sitting on the front row. And they're each on each side of my gorgeous wife, and I love you so much. My 8-year-old is in the children's ministry somewhere causing havoc, just like preachers' kids do. Anyway, when my 17 going on 18-year-old daughter and my 15-year-old son, between the ages of being born and 10, as you parents know, that is the most critical time to teach your kids the difference between right and wrong. And so when they do something right, it's like, when they do something wrong, it's no, 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 no. How many of you have parents that they can say no without saying no? They just raise an eyebrow and they know that the answer is no. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. Do you know how many times we have said no, 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 stop, don't, between the ages of 0 and 10? Countless times. No offense to Presley and Luke. You guys kept us really busy. But you know what's so fascinating? For the life of me, I can't remember those moments of them getting in trouble between the ages of 1 and 10. I cannot remember it. I know they got in trouble because they're well behaved, so. But I can't remember. Ages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't remember. I'll tell you what I can remember is I have millions of photos of them walking around with their lip in their mouth, playing, walking around with diapers that were hanging between their knees. I got pictures of their all I can remember is all the wonderful things of them sitting on my shoulder, drooling on my bald head. That's all I can remember. Parents, if you agree, put your hands together. You can't remember. It's out of my remembrance. It's out of my remembrance. The only thing I can remember is all the pleasant times, and I need you to know this. Regardless of the lies the enemy speaks to you to pull your emotions and mindset and spirit down, regardless of it all. And you know it's the devil when you feel down and back. That's how you know it's the devil. That's not God talking to you. He's not like that. But God does not remember those moments. You might remember them. The Satan will never forget them. But God is out of his remembrance because there is a robe of righteousness on you. And he's too busy celebrating today. Therefore, he's forgotten tomorrow. And he's thinking about the future. Isn't God good? Come on. He's good. That's the robe of righteousness. And then he gives a ring. It's a signet ring saying that you establish here on earth, I will have your back in heaven. When you walk into your house and say, every demon get out the window, you weren't invited, leave. God says, that's my son, that's my daughter, they have a ring. You heard what he said. Satan, get the step back. Then the shoes that go on the feet. This is saying, this is my daughter. This is not a hireling. They are not like family. This is my daughter. This is my son. I was driving down the road the other day, and there was a car or a van. I can't remember what the vehicle was, but I remember the advertisement. And it said this. It said, home cleaning services. And these ladies come to a house, and they clean the house. Now, these ladies oftentimes become like family to the people who live in the home. They become like family. And especially if they've been with each other for a long time. They're like family. They talk to each other like family, and oftentimes they give these ladies a key. So they say, hey, look,
So,
home,
you might wonder what kind of exercise that was, but that was for the dummy, right?
just lock the door behind you.
Right.
But
Now, since I'm in the chair,
family, they're like family. If the ladies that are cleaning have cleaned 4 houses that way, and at the end of the day, around 7:30, 8 o'clock, they're tired, they're exhausted, they're hungry. And all of a sudden, they take the key and come to a random person's house that they normally clean, open up the door, walk in around 8 o'clock, kick their shoes off, fall on the couch, and go, today was a long day. Did I forget something? Oh, it's been a long day. They go in the kitchen and open it up and just start baking and cooking and go, oh, let me tell you about my day. They're like family. The friendship it's graduated. It feels like, but they're not family. They're like family.
so that's 30.
Now a son, a daughter, now they can come in at midnight, 2 in the morning. Not you guys, but midnight, 2 in the morning. Oh, do you see the contrast? The sandals on the feet were, you are my son. You are not a hireling. You're not like family. You are family. Number 2. I hope you're enjoying today's sermon. I'd like to hit pause just for a moment, because every Sunday we always pray for people who need a healing in their body. I hope this next testimony encourages you to believe God for miracles in your own life.
About a month ago, I started experiencing a lot of pain in my left arm. Start at the elbow, radiate through my fingers. I thought nothing of it for a while, but it progressively got worse and worse and worse. I didn't even tell my husband. Those things where
I don't think I'm ready to do 30 yet, but I did at least 15, right?
oddly enough, it was extremely bad. To the point where I was having to shake my arm. There was numbness and tingling feeling all the way to my fingers. To the point where it was slightly.
And all I can do is forgive you, as Christ forgave those who did him wrong, right?
I came to church and
Though we're not supposed to do each other wrong, family or not, right?
tingling or radiating pain in their left arm. I stood there and I thought, oh, well, it's intermittent pain, so it's probably not for me. And I kept looking around. Pastor Frankie was very adamant that it was someone. And finally, I started to feel the pain in the moment. And I knew in that moment that the Lord was telling me, this is for you. So I went down to the altar. Pastor prayed over me right there. And as he was praying, I felt the pain as if it was being pulled out of my fingertips. And where it once was
This is like
tension
using a
and
hammer in it, right?
it became hollow. And
That's why they called hammer curls, right?
cool feeling all the way to my fingertips. I still feel it right now. And I just give all the glory to God. I am healed.
That was the gifts you received. Number 2 is the grace. The grace
But
we
you can't
receive
be
when we come before the Lord.
Jealous, right?
The
Or
Bible
pity.
says in Romans chapter 5, verse 20.
If you got success, it's from the Lord.
As the people
Nobody's perfect.
sinned more and more.
Why do you think Jesus keeps reminding you that he that is without sin cast the first stone, and you stoning each other?
As they
still.
sinned, grace was still higher than their sin. When we come before God, we're not looking at him saying, I know I'm stiff. No. There's this constant flow of grace and mercy. In Hebrews
Love,
chapter 4, verse
love,
16,
love,
it says
love,
this,
don't forget
"Come
love,
boldly,
don't forget
this is
love,
to
don't
you.
forget
All
love,
you.
don't forget
Don't
love,
be
don't
self-interested.
forget
I know it
love.
feels silly, but just do it anyway. All
Agape love.
When you pray,
Agape,
come boldly before the
not
grace
agapeo.
of God, boldly before the grace, the throne of grace, and receive mercy.
What does
and
os
grace.
mean in the Greek?
Every single
What would that
time
mean if
you
Thea
pray
is
around
goddess?
and visualize his face the best
And
you
Theo,
can.
os.
Put your heart's affection
Theo
towards him
and
the best you
Theos
can.
is gods.
You receive two things
Or God, right?
every time. You receive
And
mercy
why is
for all
Diana
the
Theo
things
in
you've done
on
up to that moment in
Theon,
your life.
right?
They're forgiven.
Yeah,
They're gone.
so is God
And
called
then he
Theon,
gives you
right?
grace.
I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
strength in all
But she is the
the
goddess,
areas
not the
that
god.
you
Right?
and I are weak in.
But
Every
God is
single
Thea,
time you receive
right?
mercy, you receive
Agape
grace.
us is
This
Peter's
is
problem.
what he does. And when you do something
If you know
that
what
you
it means.
regret, say something you regret, you just tell him,
He has a problem with sisterly love, right?
I'll give you an illustration.
The love of his wife,
Our
or the
church
love of his
started,
mother, right?
Like 17 years ago, we started off in a community center.
Mommy is treated as mommy dearest by Peter, right? Like she has no real connection with him, but only men, right? Only the father, without the mother, created him. Well, Zeus had a couple children that way. One by swallowing an already pregnant goddess, right? Who turned into a fly. Perhaps he'll die. I don't know why he swallowed a fly. But it was the little old lady who swallowed the fly. Perhaps she'll die. I don't know. Or have a baby like Zeus did. What? I also heard Venus was made by his sperm somehow only, right? Without the woman, right? Or again, Hera had a child without her husband, right? Like Mary did Jesus without a man, right? Now, the weird thing about Horus and Isis, and this is really weird, is that some think they became lovers or something. No. That's not right either. Nor your sisters, unless you're needing in the perfection of the form. What happens if you have twins that are a boy and a girl? What does that represent? The pureness of Eve, the goodness of Eve. There's no corruption yet from the one we became as to know good and evil, right? Called the evil, right? by Jesus in the deed, right? It's not deliver us from evil, but the evil one. Christians, right?
And right on your shirt. And I said,
but the evil one, your only hope, some of you, is if he repents. Like the prodigal son, right? Seriously. Or you're gonna be in hell forever with it, right?
I hung up the phone, so the Lord is my witness. I go home.
Now the first two cast into the lake of fire before the millennial reign and before Satan is bound for 1,000 years are the false prophet and the beast. It's their spirit that's the last 1,000 years is about, right? He's got to get rid of you. Who think like the beast, right?
I said, Jesus.
And like a tyrannical king, right? Or a tyrannical false prophet to the beast, right?
And when you know,
like Nebuchadnezzar, right?
Was the best email
he too is compared to a tree.
Favorable for us.
A
this is what
tree
when you say, God,
that again became mad, right?
I shouldn't have done that.
But I'm called an olive tree like David, right?
Isn't God good? Come on. That's the grace of God.
So as the second man, the two females are called candlesticks. Get it?
But this
The
is-
Lord stood between the 7 branches of the menorah, right?
It's just like
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
He gives you
7 women shall take hold of 1 man,
The
right?
third one is rest.
7 branches,
I
The
love
branch.
to imagine what
he who is called the branch.
he has a
His
robe,
banner over me is love.
he has shoes. He's allowed sandals, rather. He's allowed
Jesus is the vine, and I am the branches. His banner over me is love. Is that
They
right?
didn't have cars back then. What do you think he did after that long travel? The only thing
I
he
don't
did
know.
in those biblical days was
Don't
either
it say something
walk
about that in
or
John?
horse or
Right.
ride a camel.
Talking about branches and vines and right,
Because all in there,
things
you
of
know
that
he's
nature.
exhausted.
Right.
You know. he's
Okay.
tired.
Ow. I hit myself on the head at the
He
nose.
falls on the bed.
But stopped it in time. Right.
The
Toot,
scripture
toot.
that comes to mind is
No
Matthew
one
chapter
intentionally
11,
hits
verse
themselves
28. He says
over the
this,
head repeatedly.
all of you
Twice.
who are
Or
heavy
once.
burdened,
Right.
all of you that are carrying weight and worries,
And
all of you,
also,
come to me. Don't hit the bottle. Don't eat every single gallon of ice cream you can find. Don't
Half
sink
pint will
into
do.
a pit of despair.
or pipe.
Just come to me. And in a very
Don't tell me you eat the whole gallon. You eat a pint at a time.
is to close
He's close.
your eyes and visualize
The pints can
the
add up to a
best you
gallon.
can. The Bible says
I
that if
know.
you seek
But eat
his
the pint
face,
first,
do the
right?
best you can.
Now, it comes in sizes, right? The funnest size is the pint size, right? That's 16 ounces
I
of
told my
ice
wife,
cream.
I need to find something else. I can't do this anymore. We went on a short vacation.
He's close. He's
I was
close.
with the family and I'm laying down in bed. A lot of times people tell testimonies where God came through for them. and
But
it
the
was
real
20 years
problem
ago,
is the
and they
pints.
never say
the
anything
lady.
that happened in the
Right.
last week or two.
They don't
You
eat
ever
the
notice that?
freaking
Like, oh, victory.
half gallon or the.
This one happened within the last.
They'll get the
couple
little
weeks.
pints and eat a lot of those,
You know
right?
this- Everybody's in bed. Everybody's sleeping. It's 2:00 in the morning. I'm staring at the ceiling.
Right.
I can't sleep.
Just saying,
I
I'm
walk
listening.
outside
I'm
onto the
listening.
patio, and there's like a lawn chair there, and I'm laying down. I'm looking at all the stars, and I'll never forget
I've done
for
that
the rest
too.
of my life saying these words: Jesus, I need you to rescue me. I'm in
You
trouble.
did that too. Did that
I'm
too.
I'm tired, and sleep is not. gonna
Lord,
help.
I am
Vacation's
tired.
not gonna help.
I'm weak
I need you
and
to
I'm
rescue me. The
warm.
next morning, I woke up feeling the exact same way. Middle of the night, couldn't
But
sleep
see,
again. I
see,
decided
we
to
all
stay in
are, we
bed
all
because the
are.
night before I got chewed up by mosquitoes, so I stayed in bed. Looked up into the ceiling, said the same exact prayer. Jesus, I'm in trouble. I don't know what I'm feeling.
I think I'm in
I
trouble.
don't know how.
So do unbelievers,
I
right?
need you to rescue
But
me.
preaching at them ain't the answer, because they would have been done repented if that was working.
See, the most
I
courageous
know.
prayer you could pray.
So you don't like it when someone knows something more and preaches at you you're wrong either, do you?
Continue
You do.
to pray it again.
No one seems to like that. Right.
See, all too
Mhm.
often, if the Lord doesn't answer our prayer by the third time, then we decide He's not going to help us, and we'll figure it out in our own strength. And the enemy
Well, Paul
is
did that. That's why.
cracking cymbals and laughing.
But even with
Margaret Thatcher.
Elisha and one of the kings,
oftentimes
right?
You have to fight a battle more than once to win.
He did it so many times. He was told to strike the earth so many times, right?
I don't know when it happened.
But
I
he
can't
didn't do it
remember
enough
how. I
times
just
either,
woke up
right?
And I had muscles on
Jesus
my
says
feet.
sometimes you have to
I
ask
have lightning in my
me
veins.
until I do it, right? And the
And I
reason
was
is,
push the waves
it's
back
not
into
me not wanting to help you. You have an enemy who was once a prince in heaven, right?
How faithful God is. Come on,
And this
come on.
enemy has become the trickster, the Loki, the
Thank you for allowing
Mars,
us to
the
come
god of
on this
war,
way.
warring against the angels in heaven, right? And gathered together a third of the host of heaven, right? Now that could be aliens to the alien hunters, right? It could be whatever you want to call them, right? And then it could be jinn, it can be this, it can be that, right? And then whatever you want to call them, right? They are, right? And they became human, some of them, right? But they lie about their image. They lie about where they're really from. Alien hunters, right? They're not from the Pleiades, right? They're lying. No, they're not. Even if that's what they told the people they mated with, or the experiments on how you would see it, right? They lied. They lied. They also had them create